For a very long time, I've been wanting to learn game development. And understandably, if you're starting out like I am, it looks like the most immense mountain to get over that you have ever seen. There is so much stuff to learn. There is so much stuff to do. It is such a great barrier, and I do not know how to tackle it. Truly, I am starting from absolute bottom, like ground zero. Not ground zero, you know what I mean. The most I've done is make a Flappy Bird demo a couple times in Unity Engine, and I also had some high school classes and whatnot, but that was years ago. I have not practiced, and I do not remember any of that. So I want to start learning, but I don't know exactly where to start learning. What I do know is back in the day when I was learning guitar, I didn't take a traditional route to learn guitar. I didn't take classes or anything. For me personally, it's very difficult for me to start learning something or start achieving something when I don't know where the end point is or even like a specific goal is supposed to be. So when I was learning guitar, what I did was I started out with songs that I knew I wanted to play, and basically I went through the steps to try to learn some of the skills I would need in order to get to that song. For instance, Bloom by the Paper Kites. Yeah, that was one of the first songs I learned on guitar, if you can believe it. So I learned the skills and slowly progressed to like being able to look at tutorials to just literally learn the song. Hi, editing Alex here real fast. Quick clarification on this. What I meant with guitar is that I found a song that I wanted to play and then learned that song in particular, and I learned all my skills through learning songs. I didn't learn them through courses or classes or anything. I just kept learning songs, and through learning songs, started building up my skill set, in case that wasn't clear. Anyway, back to what I was saying. And after a while, I gathered enough experience from learning all these different songs and all these different things, down these different ventures, that now I kind of sort of know how to play guitar. Coffee. So, my idea for learning game design was generally the same idea. Have a good goal that I would like to get to, a game I would like to make, and start building up my skills and my knowledge base in order to build myself up to that particular game, right? That makes sense. And then combined with that, I also needed some kind of structured system in order to do this, or else I would never take care of it, which is where this channel comes in. We will get to that in a minute. So, obvious question. What kind of game am I trying to make? Where's my eventual goal that I want to get to? Well, it's going to be something similar to what I have on screen right now. This is a remake of a game called Riven. This game originally came out in 1997, and it's what I consider to be the best puzzle game of all time, in my humble opinion, which is very correct. While we're loading, fun fact, I actually tried recording this video yesterday, but I was working on like 2 or 3 hours of sleep. Looking back and editing it, I looked unwell. I sounded like I was drunk. It was bad. Riven is a puzzle game where you go around exploring these different islands. I'm on one of them right now. One of them you cannot see. There are 5 islands in total. Anyway, you go around exploring the islands, and basically you piece together how this world works and in order to accomplish your goals, which I will not spoil right now, but you get the idea. There's a few things I enjoy about this. First of all, there's still, obviously you're walking around in first person and everything, and looks great, but also when you go to interact with stuff, you have this neat function where you can like zoom into it. Now this is like the camera's in a fixed position and I can just fiddle around with like the different devices and everything. And you know, I really like this style. I greatly enjoy this style. One of the reasons I think Riven is one of the best puzzle games ever made is because of how all the puzzles integrate within the world itself. And it's a very interesting thing. You have to be able to like learn the infrastructure and the culture of the place you've been dropped into in order to understand how any of the puzzles work. And to any of the people that live on these islands, these Rivenese people whose houses you can see around here, to any of the people that live on these islands, these things aren't puzzles to them. This is just daily life for them. Run away! But if we go down here, we can see like they got a little schoolhouse and everything. This schoolhouse is so damn clever because obviously this is where the children are learning, and this is where you get to learn the numbering system for this world from this little game right here. And it's so clever. Anyway, I'm nerding out too much and I need to get to the point of what I'm saying. Suffice to say, this is the exact kind of game, as far as like a goal is concerned, this is the exact kind of game I want to make, where it's a like world that you're kind of dropped into, that you have to understand the rules of and understand how the infrastructure works in order to progress with the game. Obviously, my version would be smaller scale than this, different kind of scope. Want to take place in like a cave setting, so there's not so much all of this to go through. Might be stylized a bit different, but that's the general idea. That's the kind of goal I want to get to. I want to make a puzzle game, has like a world that you're dropped into and that you have to figure out on your own, and also has these kind of like stylizations and decisions they made with like how controlling the camera and the character and all those kinds of things like they do in Riven. So where I'm getting at with this goal leads into the big main question that we're getting into for this very first video. What's in the title? What game engine do I want to use? Obviously there are several out there. The ones off the top of my head, obviously there's Unity, there's Unreal Engine, there's Godot, which I'm hearing a lot of good things about. That's like starting to become like a really great thing. RPG Maker, you got Game Maker, I think? Game Maker, I may be misremembering that one. But a lot of different game engines to choose from, and the choice, to be fair, is quite an important one, because the type of game engine that you choose is going to control like what game engine you're working in. All of them have like different UIs and everything, and how they function differently. It's going to dictate like what programming languages you're going to use, things like that. This remake of Riven was created in Unreal Engine. That's what Cyan Worlds typically builds in, and it's exactly the kind of game that I'm going for. So it seemed natural for me personally at this time to go with Unreal Engine. So that's the game engine I'm going to be downloading and using and starting to learn on. That being said, we're probably going to be touching on other engines at some point, but for right now, that's the idea. Which brings me to the main premise of this video and this entire series that I'm gonna start making on this channel right now. So the entire premise of this series is essentially, the goal is for me to just 1 hour every single weekday, I'll be diving into game development and learning things from scratch, from not knowing anything at all, up until I release my first game, my first like proper nice game. That's the idea. That's the goal. We'll see if that works out. If I don't know how to do something, or I'm very confused about something, you're gonna be right here with me. I'm going to keep it in the edit, me literally searching for the answer to my problems, because it's one thing getting the answer, it's another thing learning how to search for the answer. How am I supposed to search for the knowledge that I don't know? How do I make that process happen? And I want to basically show people that like, you can start from scratch, you can start from nothing, and you can build your way up to it. There is a way to make that happen, and it's gonna be difficult, and it's gonna be hard, but we're gonna get there in the end. And so as someone who doesn't know anything about it, I hope my experience can help anyone out there that's also trying to break into this. I hope you come along for the ride, come along on this journey. Thank you for watching this very first video, and I will see y'all on Monday. Yeah, that's an outro.